More than 60 years ago, in the mid-1950s, a young African-American teenager named Mary White traveled north from rural Western Virginia to work during my family's summer vacation as a live-in domestic worker. Mary was 15. I was 12. As the black help and the privileged white daughter, we were not slated for friendship. Employers like my mother used the word friend to manage domestic workers, not to connect with them. Soon, however, came the dynamic social movements of the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, the civil rights movement, multiracial feminism, and liberation theology. These movements opened friendship as a possibility between Mary and me. We stepped into that opening. Across the stark differences of race and class between us, we began to shape a connection. In the late 1980s, some 30 years after we met, Mary declared that we should write a book about our friendship. "No one will believe our story," she said. Mary, more than I, understood how many rules of the dominant culture we had violated in our journey towards becoming friends. Unwritten rules of domestic service, carefully policed barriers between white and black, between rich and poor. At the time, we had been sharing novels and essays by Toni Morrison, Pauli Marshall, Alice Walker, Audre Lorde, and Alice Childress. Especially electrifying for us both was Anne Moody's Coming of Age in Mississippi, which Mary said came the closest to expressing her own experiences of growing up Black in the rural South. I had worked with a team of women as co-author and editor of Our Bodies, Ourselves, a feminist resource on women's health and sexuality. All this made Mary's suggested writing project seem possible. Mary and I could not have predicted that co-creating our book would span 3 decades, and that Mary's input would begin with an interview taped on a little battery-operated recorder made of black plastic, evolve through multiple conversations in each other's kitchens and living rooms, and wind up with a flourish of cell phone texts sent to flesh out every detail during a 21st century pandemic. Nor could I know that after assuming easily that I, as a white woman, could write our book, I would face the limits of my own white gaze. Flash forward to 2023. Mary is 83 years old. I am 79. On weekly phone calls, we carry on about family and politics like the observant, caring old women we are. We spoke every day during the pandemic shutdowns, leaning on the love that has matured between us, helping each other through. We have been co-creating for more than half our lives. Our friendship, the book, and now Zoom chats with book clubs, church groups, and social change circles. One of our central goals in these walls between us is to speak to white readers who might recognize themselves in my off-stumbling journey towards knowing Mary more fully across the socially constructed barriers between us, and towards being a more dependable friend. We hope that it will inspire readers to examine the barriers and possibilities in their own cross-racial and cross-class relationships. Back when we were venting to each other during the 2016 election, Mary said, "I think of the climate we are living in now, all the hateful things mostly young white males are doing that fall into the category of hate crimes, putting a wedge between people. The people who elected Trump president want to take the country back to the good old days. This book can show what those days were really like." We hope that our truth-telling will bring accuracy to the historical record. We hope, too, that these walls between us will be a testament to the power of love that has kept us, each in our own way, reaching across the obstacles arrayed against our becoming friends.